It is that time of year, Amazon Prime days, and I feel that we all kind of get the itch and the bug to go shop around those days. So I wanted to sit down with you and share with you my favorite Amazon products. I just did a part one of this type of video very recently, I would say within the last month and a half-ish. So I will link that video down below. Today we'll have all new products. For the most part, I will repeat a couple of favorites just because I want this video to, go out around Prime Day. So if you're like, oh my gosh, like I need to know, like, what are your favorite must-haves? I did link some of those down below as well, and I'm going to be talking about them today. So if you are new here, my name is Hope. I hope you will stick around. I love sharing, vloggy style videos, beauty lifestyle. I'm kind of making my comeback on YouTube here after being kind of on and off for the last 2 to 3 years. So I hope you will stick around and subscribe. I do have an Amazon storefront. All of the products that I talk about will be linked down below. Of course, you don't have to use my links, but if you choose to, I do make a small commission if you purchase through clicking through one of my links and make a purchase. So thank you in advance if you do. This product list that I have today to share is extremely long. So without further ado, I just want to hop right in and get started. Do not mind my cat in the background munching on her dinner. It's 5:45, so it's that time of day for her to be eating. I should also mention that not all of these products I know for sure will be on sale. These are honestly just my favorites and just the convenience of it being Prime days. If there's other things that you're already ordering, I know Prime doesn't, or Amazon ships things separately often because they're different vendors within there, but these are just some of my favorites that I wanted to share, and then bonus of it being Prime Day. I am not going to be holding up any of the products I have right here physically with me right now just because it would have been a lot together, but I will include close-ups for you so you will have at least product shots that I will pop in this video here. The first one I have definitely talked about before. I've actually probably talked about it in my other videos outside of my Amazon favorites, but this one's a basic one, but I did want to share it. It is my Kindle. I know Kindles are kind of the new thing now, and I actually am so on board with this. I used to never be into reading like books or anything that was like outside of a physical book. If it was on a screen, I was like, nah, I'm good. Kindle is a life changer. It doesn't beat, the feeling of a physical book. However, it does beat with the convenience. Being able to read at night with the lights off, you can kind of switch between dark and light mode. If you want to read outside, you're able to switch that way. If you're traveling, you don't have to haul heavy books, or you don't have to haul multiple books. You can have it all on one. So I would say the Kindle is probably one of my #1 recommendations. I honestly don't even have the super high-end Kindle. I have the very low-end Kindle, and I actually really like that one. It's simple and it works for me, so I will link that one down below, and it's the cheapest one. Next item is a dehumidifier. So I actually got this as a gift, but it was on my original wedding registry, and this thing has worked like a charm. In the old house that I used to live in, it was an older home, and we didn't have air conditioning, so we had to have big window units, and it would get so humid in there, especially in like the dead of summer. This dehumidifier worked so well, sucking all of that moisture out of the air. I even noticed that in my apartment, I had one day where I was like, it's feeling extra humid in here. Use that dehumidifier, sure enough, collected some water, and dumped it, and it was good to go. So if you're in the market for one, this one I think was relatively inexpensive. I think it was under $100. Thumbs up for me, it works and I like it, and it's super easy. Plug it in the wall, turn it on, and it goes. Another one is kind of a classic, but it is the Ring doorbell. I used to own this when I lived in my house, and it was very handy. I think it was definitely worth the hype. We didn't have necessarily other security cameras when I was there, but we did have the Ring, which made the most sense just from the access point of the house. Like really only having a Ring was necessary. And it was so nice though, because we would get notifications when people would come to the door, or be able to see, before you answer the door, who's driving by. It's just a good security measure. So when I actually move into my next house, I would say, I will likely buy a Ring doorbell because it is just an awesome thing to have. And I feel like it's easier than this whole security system, or it's good on top of a security system. And I think we paid $5 a month for the service. So I have a bunch of wine glass recommendations. These all came off of my wedding registry. Well, all but one, but I also bought the other one for a gift for my dad and my stepmom. And they're super nice. So I have these big wine glasses that are like massive, like they're like big round bowl shape almost. love them. They are huge. Often I will actually use them to like make my mini mocktails, where I'll put like sparkling water in them and then squeeze some lime. And I should have done it for this video, but I kind of do that little concoction, and that's been my favorite because that glass can hold so much. So I love those. It's also obviously nice for red wine too, but you just have to be careful because when you pour so much in there, you're like, it's only one glass, when in reality it's fitting like 2 normal wine glasses into one. So, but yeah, I love that one. I have another red wine glass too that's not the same shape. It's more of a traditional wine glass shape, but I think they're super elegant and pretty. They are a little bit bigger though. They're not gonna be like a smaller wine glass, I would say, but definitely really recommend those two if you're looking for something that's more of a wine glass, a red wine glass, but not like the huge like bowl shape one that I have. I would recommend that. And then I also have a white wine version of that too. Love that one. I would say that one I probably use the most. I don't own the middle red one I just mentioned. That one was the one that I gave it as a gift to my parents, but I drink wine at their house, so I've used them before. But these white wine ones actually are really nice too. So I use that one probably most frequently when I am drinking wine, just because it's a nice shape. And I'm not a snob of like it needs to be in a certain glass, but it's kind of fun to have different glass shapes. And I kind of have an obsession with wine glasses, so that's why I have so many. I also have one more that I want to mention, which is a stemless one. These ones are super dainty too. I kind of like having the thinner rims when you drink out of them. I know I just said I'm not a snob with it, but here I am saying that, but I really like that one as well. This white casserole baking dish is so pretty, and I've actually used it quite a few times with baking. I just think it's nice. It holds up well. It's different from like a glass, like a traditional like glass see-through one. I have a couple of those too with like lids. This one doesn't come with a lid, but it's super nice to have just, you know, for baking things. Like maybe you're making like chicken in the oven and you just want to throw it in, or you're making like a lasagna. It would work perfectly for lasagna. I also think it's really cute. So if you made like egg bake, you know, and brought it over as like a something at a party, I think it'd be a really versatile glassware to use both at a party, you know, or at home. I love that thing a lot, and I think it's so cute. That one was on my wedding registry. A lot of these actually were. The next one is a glass pitcher. I actually haven't used this one a ton, but it's so cute, and I think it's such a good price. It's just a clear see-through glass pitcher, but you can make, you know, lemonades, cocktails, anything in it. And it's so cute. It's so like, I don't know, it just looks like summer when I look at it. It's a perfect little glassware. If you're looking for a glass pitcher, I would recommend that one. A classic salad spinner. This one is super nice and well made. It's, you know, I feel like it's like not a cheapy one. Like this one's gonna last a long time. It works really well. It's just kind of a classic salad spinner. It's like 20 something bucks, but I think if you're on the hunt for one or you're looking for one for a gift, this is a really good one. These glasses with glass straws. So these kind of are going around and popular. Honestly, these have been around for a while now, but I still use mine almost every morning when I make iced coffee. They're just 4, you know, plain glasses, and then they come with glass straws too. So if you're kind of looking for a set of them, I think this is a great option. These ones don't come with lids, but I find I didn't really want the ones with lids, so these ones work great and I love those. I also have these really large serving bowls that I got from Amazon. These ones are also on my registry, but they're called serving bowls, but honestly, when Brian's over, like those are his favorite go-to bowls for dinner because they fit so much. So we often make like homemade Chipotle bowls and we put them in there, or like spaghetti, or, you know, whatever. But they're very large and elongated serving bowls, but they're so nice to have just on hand, even for if you're making, like I said, soups and any of those kind of dishes where you want something that's a little bit bigger to accommodate, but it's not, I don't know, it just works. And then you can also use them for serving too, as the description says. But I love those. They come in a pack of 4. We use them all the time. The next thing are glass Tupperware containers. I've kind of made the switch over from plastic to glass Tupperware just because I've been trying to, you know, stay away from plastic a little bit more, being more of that low tox, non-tox lifestyle that I've talked about here and there on my channel. I've just been trying to slowly make the switch, and those glass Tupperwares were one of those things. I actually got it at my bridal shower last year and from one of my friends, and we use them every single day. Like literally whenever I cook, they get used. So these are a perfect thing to throw in there if somebody just got a new house and they need some new glassware, even just a Christmas gift, because I feel like people always need new like glass Tupperware. Like it's kind of like I feel like Tupperware is a thing, especially if people have plastic ones. Those can get really old and gross pretty quickly. So having some nice glass ones really come in handy. So I think it's a great gift idea, if not for yourself, just to slowly make that switch over to using more glass items. I would recommend these. And they come with like multiple sizes. And actually, to be honest, when I moved out of our house, I split some of them. I left a couple of the dishes at the house and then I kept a couple of dishes. So I still feel like I have quite a few, even with like splitting them. So they come in like bigger rectangles and mid-sized rectangles and some squares and some, you know, like they have a bunch of sizes. This note-taking Bible, I absolutely love. It's my new Bible. I actually wanted it for the wedding for people to like write notes in. Obviously we didn't get that far, but I've kept the Bible because it's easy for studying, because it's got the sidebars with room to like write your notes in, and I absolutely love that. This one I happen to have right here, so I'm just going to show you, but it's the CSB version, so this one's a little bit easier to understand. So especially if you're new to your faith journey, this wouldn't be a bad one to have, and it's also very aesthetically pleasing, if I do say so myself. But like I'll show you, it's got kind of the bars on the side, so there's nice writing space. And I just think it's really aesthetically pretty, and it's really easy for studying, especially like if you kind of need, the CSB version is often good for beginners, and I'm not even a beginner in the Bible, and I still use it because I feel like I can be a beginner at times. My electric tea kettle gets used probably 4 to 5 nights a week. I have tea almost at like frequent in the evenings, and this thing is so nice. It heats up so fast. I often, like, it's got like different temps that you can set it at. You can have it keep hot, so like if you set it to a temperature and you don't want it to like cool right away, it can hold the temp. It's easy. I pull it in and out of my cabinet all the time, so it doesn't sit on my counter, but it could because it's not super big. It kind of fits in, it's a smallish size. I love it. And I used to have like a normal tea kettle, but I just think that the normal ones, obviously they're loud when they make that whistling sound, and then they do hold more. I noticed that this one, obviously because it's smaller, it doesn't hold as much, so I have to refill it more, but that doesn't necessarily bother me. And then I just feel like it heats up a lot quicker than the original one. Another one that I actually think is a very like random find, but they're these 2 patio chairs and this table, so like a little patio set. This was also on one of my registry, as one of my registry items, and my dad actually bought it for me, and it fits perfectly in my apartment on my little patio deck. And it comes with cushions too that are removable, so I just keep my cushions inside most of the time, and then I just put them out when I want to sit out there. I love it. I'm looking at it right now, and they're like the perfect size, and they're comfortable, they're not too big, they're just a classic like patio or deck furniture, and it's just something smaller, but it fits really well. So if you're looking for something, whether you live in an apartment, which I think would be perfect, but even if you don't, you have just like a smaller, patio, or you just want an addition to your patio, I think those would be perfect. And they're not too expensive. I'm moving speedy quick. You know why? Because I'm not having to hold up items. That's what takes me so long. I'm just like running through them. Another one is this mounted wine rack. I had this at the house, so I didn't take it with me, but this thing was so, like, it looked really pretty, and I loved the way that it looked on the wall, but it also held a lot of wine. So if you're a wine collector, like I am, and you like to have a bunch of bottles of wine on hand, this was perfect. It kept it out of the way off the counters, which is nice too, because it saves space, and I thought it looked pretty. So if you're looking for a nice wine like wall mount rack, I would totally recommend this one. And it comes with like different sizes too, so I'll link the exact one I had, but I think it was like 12 bottles and 12 bottles, maybe it was 6 and 6. I can't remember, but it held quite a bit, the one I had. This mini wine aerator is the coolest device ever. If you are into drinking wine and you've never tried an aerator, you need to try it. The difference it makes in your wine, all it does is it just aerates your wine, so it adds oxygen to it, but it expedites the process, because you can put like wine in a decanter and let it decant, but that takes about 3 hours for it to fully like get oxygen within it. I'm not a scientist. I don't understand all of like the science behind it, and also I'm not the biggest wine snob, although I have my preferences. I definitely notice a difference, and it's really interesting when the oxygen actually gets into your wine. So if you're looking for a nifty little device, it's just like a little thing you hold over your cup, and you take your bottle of wine and you pour it over, and you do it per cup. So it doesn't necessarily do it per the whole bottle. I know that they sell also like wine pourers that have aerators in them too, but I almost feel like this one works a little bit better just because it actually goes through the device. But if you've never tried an aerator and you drink wine, you need to, because it 100% changes the flavor of your wine, and honestly for the better. It makes them more smooth, and just like it really enhances all the flavors. I did talk about these decorative smaller bowls in the last video that I did, but I can't pass up the opportunity to talk about these again because they were seriously so cute. I gave them as a gift, but I opened them and looked at them, and they were the cutest thing ever. When I need to get new bowls, which is not right now, when I do, I will definitely be purchasing these. They have multiple sizes. The size that I had got was kind of like an ice cream bowl size, so it wasn't too big, but it wasn't like those tiny little cups either. So cute. There's a couple different patterns. Each of them, when you buy a set of 4, is a different pattern for each one, but they all kind of like are cohesive and they fit together. So I think there's like 2 options that you can choose from for the set of 4s. So for pattern wise, they were so cute and they weren't too expensive. Meat thermometer, I feel, is almost necessary when you're cooking, especially chicken, and especially if you're like me who has high sensitivity to meat being thoroughly cooked. So this one was awesome. It was inexpensive, and I think I had it on my registry too, which is why I got it. Or we bought it, I can't remember. But this is an awesome meat thermometer if you're looking for one. I know you can find these everywhere, but this one was great. This air fryer is an air fryer that is not the one I have. I can try and find the one that I have and link it down below, but this one specifically, I bought for my dad. They use this thing all the time, and if you don't have an air fryer, you are missing out. So this one is actually like a traditional one where it's like a bowl, you know, where you throw everything in the bowl and you shake it and you stick it in and it air fries. I have one that's like actual racks. I like them both. I think both versions are unique and they have their own purpose depending on what you're cooking, but they love it, and it wasn't that expensive. It was like a good, I think it was like $100 or under $100. It was not super expensive. It was the Instant brand, I believe, but they love it, and I think this is a really handy one if you're looking for one that's not too expensive but a good deal. Getting down to my final few, these curtains I also mentioned in the last video. I'm talking about these just because I bought them in 2 different colors for 2 different living situations, and they both have worked great. They are blackout curtains. I would say they're mostly blackout. You can see a little bit of light through them, you know, in the morning and in the evening when the sun's rising and setting, but for the most part, they're pretty dang good. So I have like the dark gray ones, and then I also have like the teal-y ones, and both of them are dark enough that they work. I haven't tried the lighter colors to test, you know, the difference, but these ones work great. And I think they were like less than $20, so it was a steal, especially for being in an apartment. I also love this acupuncture mat. This one I did mention in my previous video too, but this one is great for just like reducing stress and, you know, like that stimulation that's supposed to kind of represent acupuncture, but it's obviously not acupuncture because you're not sticking needles in, but it's got the pokies and the mat, and you have one for your head and then you have one for your body. I love this mat. I use it all the time. I think even if it's like a placebo effect, I do think it actually does like kind of de-stress and relax you, especially when you sit on it for a while. So if you're interested in kind of the whole acupuncture thing and you've never tried it or you've wanted to, but you're kind of afraid like me, I think this mat is actually really cool. This JBL speaker is the best speaker. It has great sound quality. It's not too big of a size. You can travel with it. The battery lasts so long on it. I rarely have to charge it. It is just such an awesome speaker. Do you mind? Millie Jean, you can find on Prime. Amazon Prime. Do they sell kitties? Do they sell kitties like you? Wanna say hi to everybody? Say hi, it's been so long. If you're looking on the hunt for a new speaker, I found this one on Amazon. I know you can buy it other places too, but it's a great speaker. Okay, I have a couple apparel items and then I'm wrapping up. So these black flats I actually bought for work because when I started my corporate job, I didn't have like any work attire. So these flats and then also these dress yoga pants. These flats, they're cheap. They're not like ones that I think are gonna last forever, but I have had them for 2 years and they haven't seemed to wear down too much. They're not obviously like the most comfortable. I personally don't know of many flats that are, but they don't like rub and create blisters or anything. Like they work for every day, and I work, you know, in an office and I have to walk skyways to get there and everything. So it's not like I'm not walking in them. I'm sitting, I'm standing, you know, I'm moving around in them, and they work really well, and they're super inexpensive. So if you're just on the hunt for a classic flat that just needs to get you by, 10 out of 10 recommend. Same with these yoga dress pants. These are more comfy for me to wear than jeans. So they're kind of cropped a little bit. They're a little bit more like capri style crop, but I love these work pants. They're super comfortable. They have pockets. They just are it. So if you're looking for something nice and comfortable to wear and you kind of need something a little bit dressier, these are definitely it. I also have, I mentioned this on these next two on the last video, but I wanted to mention them again. This black shirt that have the puff sleeves on it. I love this shirt. I want to get more colors in it because it's cute. You can wear it, you know, more casual. You can dress it up. I've worn it to work before. It's got these like really cute intricate sleeves. The actual top has like ribbed lines on it, but it's just like a perfect fit. It's got like a neckline like this. It's just the best shirt, and it's on Amazon. So I always have to mention that one. And then this PJ set, I think that these pajamas are actually softer than the ones that I have at Target that are the same version, just because they have like that silkier material, and I've washed them so many times and they don't like get rougher. Whereas like my Target ones have gotten rougher over time, these ones have stayed silky soft. So if you kind of like that button down style, I cannot sleep in pants. I have to have shorts and a t-shirt, and so that's what these are, and I love them. That was a lot. I know I ran through it super quickly. I wanted this video to be speedy quick, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will definitely check out Amazon on Prime Day, see what's out there, see if anything that I've been keeping my eye out on needs to be purchased. And yeah, so let me know what your favorite Amazon products are down in the comments so I can check them out on Prime Day, see if anything's on sale. As always, I hope you subscribe and stick around and check out my channel, my other videos that I've posted. Definitely check out the other Amazon part 1 video of favorites from there that I just filmed very recently. I will link that down below. Love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.